Hello everybody, Kenneth Campbell here. Welcome back to my channel. Y'all like my backdrop? I ordered it off of Amazon a few days ago. I know it looks ghetto as fuck, but I don't know. It's mine and I'm just gonna make do with what I got. If you like it, cool, and if you don't, cool. Oh well, it's mine. I wanted to get it in blue, but somehow this green has stood out to me and I just wanted to get that. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. On the agenda today, we're going to be doing story times. I got two story times for y'all, and they're about my two racist ass teachers, in which I'm going to name one. I was in preschool. I'm going to call her Miss Racist 1, and the second one I was in first grade. Her name is going to be Miss Racist 2. So with Miss Racist 1, I remember this was back in the early 2000s, around 2002 or 2003 when I had first started school. And I remember my dad had took me to the open house or whatever for preschool. And I had two teachers, Miss Racist 1, and it was a black lady, like a big bone black lady. I'm going to say her name is Miss Olson. And I remember we had came to the classroom and like, girl, let me tell you, like there were kids running around playing and there were like little setups of like little toys and play groups and whatnot. And my dad was talking to Miss Olsen and whatnot. She was basically explaining about preschool and all the kind of other stuff. And my ass, I didn't give a damn about that shit. I was just basically just want to just run around and play with the toys and play with the kids and whatnot. And I remember I had came across like this little, I want to say, dress up center or whatnot. And I remember like there was this dress up center, like it was like a big wooden, like tall rectangular looking thing, I think. And I remember on the top of it, it was like this section on top of it, and it was like a staircase leading up to that section. So I was fixing to go up the staircase. I was halfway up the staircase until I heard a loud ass snap behind me. She was like, down. Like with that much hate in her eyes, Miss Racist. She was like, down. And being the obedient kid I was, I decided to calm down. Like, really, bitch? Like, I remember that day. I remember Miss Race as well. I don't know what she looks like now, but she had or has short, shoulder length blonde hair. And that day at open house, she was wearing a long black dress with some ugly ass flip flops, looking like the goddamn Wicked Witch of the West. Like, really? You could have just told me in a nice way to get down, but you decided to be rude and be like, down. Like, really? You couldn't have been nice about it. I guarantee you, if I was white, she probably would have told me in a nice way. But I'm black, so of course. So, where else? What else I want to talk about? There were many instances. I haven't even told my family about this one that I'm finna bring up. So, I remember this day. I remember this day, what happened. I remember it well. So I remember me and this girl, we were playing dress up with the dolls and whatnot. Don't judge me. We was playing dress up with the dolls and whatnot. I was a kid then. We was playing dress up with the dolls and whatnot. And I remember it was time to get back to work and whatnot. So the girl, she had already cleaned up and I was left in the little dress up thing and whatnot. So I remember that the doll I was playing with, it was like a pretty chubby blonde doll, by the way. And I remember I was struggling trying to get the doll's clothes on because Miss Racist decided to pop her ass in there and help me. And I was struggling to get the doll dress on and whatnot. And I guess I wasn't moving fast enough. How about this bitch? She took the doll from me and she had hit me on my knee with the damn doll. Because I wouldn't try to because I couldn't get the clothes on fast enough. Like, really? You couldn't simply just snatch the doll from me and just help put her goddamn clothes on, which she did. But, bitch, come on now. You should not have hit me with the goddamn doll on my knee. Like, really, bitch? Really? Like, racism at its finest. And this instant I'm about to bring up boils my blood so much. Oh, my God. So basically the gist of it all was, I'm going to get to it, but basically the gist of it all was, I remember I had to stay home for that day because I think it was parent-teacher conference day and stuff, and I had to stay home, and we had got out of school early for parent-teacher conference, And I remember my dad had told me to stay home and he had to go up to my school for something. And I remember that so I thought I heard something. I remember that um it was him and Miss Olson in the classroom together. And basically the gist of it all was Miss Racist 1 tried to put me in special ed. Why? Why would you try to put me in special ed, bitch? Why? And basically, my dad basically had cussed Miss Olsen ass out and stuff like that. And how about it was this bitch's idea to put me in special ed? How about she didn't show up? She decided not to show up. I wonder why. Because you're a cowardly ass bitch and you did not want to face my father. How about that? That's why your ass decided not to show up, because you a cowardly ass bitch. That's why. So yeah, my dad basically had cussed Miss Olsen out and just basically just told her like he doesn't want me in special ed. Like I'm a very smart kid. He didn't want me in special ed and whatnot, and I didn't get put in special ed. Thank God I have a strong father that did not allow that to happen, and a strong mother too. They did not allow that to happen, and I thank God for both of them, because suppose they wouldn't have said yes, I probably would not be standing in front of y'all recording this video today. So yeah, I did not get put in special ed, and the year went on by, and I eventually went on to kindergarten. And my kindergarten teacher, she was so nice. I'm gonna say her name is Miss. I'm gonna say her name is Miss Ox. I'm gonna say her name is Miss Ox. Like, she was and still is a very nice lady. I run into her time to time in stores. She still looks the same, slightly older, but she still looks the same. Very nice, got a very good attitude, and she was black. Like a very nice, very humble lady. Like, she treated me basically like gold, and I thank God for her. And with Miss Racist 1, I just want to say this. You tried to put me in special ed, but what you fail to realize is I was never stupid. Your ass just did not know how to teach. What teachers fail to realize, teachers, if you're subscribed to my channel, if you're watching this, what some of y'all fail to realize is not every student learns the same. Everybody's different. Just because Timmy may catch on faster than Ron doesn't mean that Ron's stupid. That means that Ron just needs extra time. Vice versa, just because Ron catches on faster than Timmy doesn't mean that Timmy's stupid. That just means that he just needs extra time. Like, everybody's different. Like, you just can't assume, oh, he or she's stupid. Oh, he or she's stupid, we need to shoot them in special ed. No. No, bitch. They just simply need extra time. I was never stupid. I just needed extra time. Your ass was just lazy and did not know how to fucking teach. And that's why your ass had transferred schools. Because you didn't know how to fucking teach, bitch. But she's married now and her last name changed. And I wish nothing but the best from her. But if I were to see her on the street, I would pull her aside and tell her that without hesitation. I'd be nice and be like, hi, do you remember me? I was that kid you tried to put in special ed, remember? But my dad wouldn't let you. I can't wait to see the face on that. I cannot wait to see the expression on the face if I was to tell her that. So that's the end of that story. Let's move on to the next one with Miss Racist 2. By the way, quick disclaimer about myself. This story had happened in first grade. The next one. I was retained, if y'all don't know what that means I was held back. I was retained back in first grade twice. I graduated school in 2016, but if you want to be technical about it, I want to say I was supposed to graduate in like 2014 or 2015, because I was held back twice, and I was held back twice, wait, not twice. I was held back once in first grade. And if you want to be technical about it, I was supposed to graduate in like 2014 or 2015, but considering the fact that I was held back, and plus my birthday is late, my birthday's in November, considering the fact that I was held back and my birthday was late, like, everything worked out well. So I graduated on time. That's the main thing. I was 19 when I graduated, but hey, I graduated on time, whatever. So, yes. With my first grade teacher, Miss Racist 2. I had two of them. There was Miss Racist 2, and the second one I had, I'm gonna say her name is Miss Dong. So they were nice and whatever, whatnot on the first day, but as time went by, they were just so fucking bitchy to me. I remember one time, if y'all remember this, those of you that are watching this that went to school with me, if y'all remember Head Sprout, like, you know what I'm talking about. Basically, Head Sprout is basically like a learning game for kids that's in like the first grade. Basically helps them with their reading, math, etc. It was basically like a kids playing game. And I remember I was on Head Sprout, and I guess I couldn't log in and whatnot, and I didn't even hear Miss Racist 2 coming up behind me. How about this bitch? She came up behind me, and for some reason, she hit me hard on my shoulder. Not this shoulder, but this shoulder. She had hit me hard on my shoulder, like, for some reason. And then she just got in the way and just started trying to log into the computer. Really, bitch? Why'd you just hit me like that? Like, why? I can understand if I had like a bee or something on my shoulder, but bitch, why'd you just out of nowhere hit me like that? Like, why? 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 Like, the fuck? And another incident, I remember Miss Dong, she had took us out for recess because Miss Racist 2's ass, I don't know, she was out that day for something. Maybe she was sick or something. But I remember Miss Dong, she had took us out for recess and stuff, and I remember we was playing on the not jungle gym, we was playing on the little playset and whatnot and whatever, and I was finna climb up the playset and play and whatnot, and there was this little black girl. I remember her distinctively. She had long braids going back, and she had on a green shirt and blue jeans and black shoes. And I remember I was coming up the play thing, and I remember she was running playing with her friend, and her friend had zoomed by, and she was trying to catch her friend. She all of a sudden tripped, and she was like super close to me like this. She was super close to me. She was about to fall on me, and I went like like that because I thought she was finna fall on me. But Miss Dong had saw it for some reason, and she had took it as I laughed at her, which really I didn't laugh at her. I just screamed slightly like because I had thought she was finna fall on me. But Miss Dong saw it, and I tried to explain, like, I wasn't laughing, but with a combination of students that saw it and with Miss Dong, like, nobody believed me. So fast forward, I remember we had came back from recess and stuff like that, and I remember it was the end of the day, and Miss Dong, she was at the computer typing a letter and whatnot, and I didn't think nothing of it. I was thinking like, and plus it was time to go too, I was thinking like, oh, this probably just teacher stuff. And I remember before I went out the door, I remember she had handed it to me, folded up, and I was like, Miss Dong, is this a bad note? She was like, oh yeah. Like, wide eye, like, oh yeah. And then she handed it to me. And I showed it to my dad when I got home, and I got an ass with him, basically. He spanked me. All because of a false situation that happened. And also, like, the class was predominantly white, like, with the hint of like 2 or 3 black kids, but the class is predominantly white. And I remember like just like my preschool class, like it was predominantly white. And yeah, it was basically predominantly white too. So those kids used to do me so wrong. Like they were just so fucking mean to me. Like they used to accuse me of stealing stuff, which really I didn't. Like one girl had accused me. I'm going to say her name because I remember her real name, but I'm going to say her name is Sherry. I'm going to say her name is Sherry. This one girl, her name is Sherry, like, she used to get on my fucking nerves. Like, she used to accuse me of stealing shit, which really I didn't. I remember one time her pencil sharpener was missing, and I remember somehow it wound up in my desk, which I don't know how it did. It just had wound up in my desk. And I remember she was looking around for a pencil sharpener. She was looking at everyone's desk. And then she had found in my desk. And she was like, Miss Racist 2, Dontavius had stolen my pencil sharpener. And I tried to explain, like, no, I didn't. But no one believed me. And Miss Racist 2 had got on my ass and had made me stand in the corner for some reason. And another incident. I remember I was in PE class. And the PE coach, I'm going to say her name is... What I'm going to say her name is. I'm going to say her name is Miss Boo. So Miss Boo, I remember we were doing some kind of thing in PE and stuff like that. I know we were doing. Okay. So if you ever had PE class, you know, like when you do those little sit up things and they hold your feet, that's basically what we were doing. So I remember I was just holding the person's feet and whatnot, and we were doing like little push ups and whatnot. And I guess something happened, and I guess they decided to blame me. As usual, they decided to blame me. And I remember Miss Boo, she decided to pull me aside and told me to go to somebody else's classroom and stand in the corner for some reason, which this nice girl, she had walked me over to the classroom, and she just told me just to go over to the classroom and just stand in the corner until it's time for Miss Racist 2 to come pick me up and whatnot for some reason, which I didn't even know what had went on. Somebody blamed something on me, and I just had to go to that classroom and just stand in the corner for some reason. And Miss Racist 2 had came to the classroom with the class, and then we all had went back to the classroom. And that day I remember distinctively. I remember back in primary school they used to have something called, I want to say, leader of the day or something like that. And that day I was picked to be the leader of the day, but I lost it due to the fact that I had got in trouble. And I remember I was walking beside her and she was like, "You just lost being the leader for the day and your card is flipped." Okay, like I lost being the leader for the day, which, you know, back then when you're a little kid, that was kind of a big deal. But, and then after I lost being the leader for that day, like another girl had got it. And I remember, like, that was a big deal for me when I was a little kid. But now I'm like, really, bitch, I lost being the leader for the day and my car was flipped. Like, who cares, bitch? And for those of you who don't know what the cards were, basically, if you were in primary school, like the cards, they basically like, if you flip a card, that means you're in trouble for something. And if you get down to one, I guess you go to the principal's office and get down. There's 4 cards, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if you get down to number 1, no, there were 5 cards. If you get a 4, that's a warning. But if you get all the way down to 1, that's a write-up and you go to the principal's office, basically. But my car was flipped, so what, bitch? And if I lost being a leader for the day, who gives a fuck? Like, ooh, big whoop. And there was this one incident that I'm about to bring up. I remember me, my sister, and my dad, I think we were at Video Warehouse. By the way, if you're living under a rock, if you don't know what Video Warehouse is, basically this is way before Netflix and Hulu and all that stuff. You basically went to Video Warehouse and Blockbuster to basically rent movies and you take them home and watch them. So we were in Video Warehouse that day, and I remember Miss Racist 2 and her husband had came in, and I saw them, and being the friendly kid I was like, "Hi, Miss Racist 2. Hi, Miss Racist 2. Miss Racist 2. Miss Racist 2." Like, and how about this bitch? She act like she didn't fucking hear me. Like, bitch, you hear everyone in that place heard my big ass mouth. So how the hell could you just fucking ignore me? Oh, I know why, because you're racist. So she was with her husband and whatnot, and her ass pretend like she didn't hear me. And then my dad came and found me. He was like, "Come on, son, don't be speaking to that bitch." And he said it loud enough for her to hear me, which I know she fucking heard it. And then I remember she just did her thing in the desk with her movies and then just walked out. Like, really, bitch? Everyone in that fucking place heard my big ass mouth. So how the fuck could you not hear me? Oh, that's why, like I said, because you're fucking racist. So I'm going to fast forward to this incident. This is a couple of years down the line. I was at my first job, McDonald's. By the way, if y'all haven't seen my McDonald's story time about what I missed by working at McDonald's, I'm going to link that story time down below. So I remember I was at McDonald's and whatnot. This is a few years afterward. I was about to graduate high school then. This is in 2016. And I remember at the McDonald's that why did I fucking say that? At the McDonald's that I was working at, I remember they have something where you park in the back and they bring your food out to you, like it's basically like a reserved drive-through. You park and then they bring your stuff out to you. So I was responsible for, by the way, my job was basically cleaning up, but sometimes they asked me to bring food out to the customers and whatnot. So I remember I had brought food out to the customer, and I remember it was this man, and then guess who was sitting beside him in his truck? Miss Racist too. She was slightly older. Like back then when I was in first grade, she was skinny and very pretty. Like she still is pretty, but she was just a little fatter. Well, not fatter, she was just a little chubbier. And I remember it was Miss Racist too. And I remember I had gave them their food. And I remember I had asked them, I was looking dead at Miss Racist too. I was like, is that everything in your bag? And I can tell she recognized me because she couldn't even look at me. And she was just hurriedly rummaging in her bag. I was like, is that everything? And she was like, yeah. And just couldn't look at me. I wonder why. Oh, that's why. Because you recognized me and you realized you were a fucking racist ass bitch. So that's the end of my rant. That concludes this story time. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. By the way, if you're offended, for those of you who are watching this video, if y'all are offended by anything that I said, I'm so sorry. I just had to get this off my chest. I don't mean to offend anyone. That's not what this channel is for. I don't mean to offend anyone. I'm just expressing my opinion. And if you don't like it, feel free to unsubscribe. Or if you do like it, cool. So, like I said, I don't mean to offend anybody, but that concludes this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to link all my social media accounts in the description box down below. So feel free to add and follow me on those. Also, don't forget to turn that notification bell so you can get notified every time I upload a video. So until next time, Kenneth Campbell, out.